Hello, I think we are live. Guys, I hope you guys are able to see me. Okay, so we are starting slightly a few minutes early because just because it's a late night session, we would want everybody to be ready with everything and we can finish the session in time. Generally, if the session runs over, then sleep of students is affected, etc. So we'll try to be more timely. We'll try to start the session a bit early, as on time as possible. I'm glad many guys have already joined us. Those who have joined us, please like the stream, please share the stream with those who are also preparing for CAT. The more likes we get, the more shares we get, and the more students are joining to our particular streams, the more motivation and encouragement we get to actually do more of these. If ideally what I would want to do is I want to do a lot of LRDI streams so that come CAT day on November 28th, you have exposure to all different types of LRDIs. So if you want that, please like the stream, please share the stream. I see a few guys are just about joining in. So those who are joining in, please like the stream, please share the stream. If you're part of any Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups of students who prepare, please share there, because that essentially will help us a lot in terms of holding more of these streams. To the guys who are, Amrit asked at the start of the this that what topic will be covered in this particular session. So basically this is actually an arrangement with scheduling and arrangement with truth lie, rather than simple truth lie and with simple scheduling. The more complicated scheduling questions I will actually take separately, where I'll teach you how to draw the scheduling diagrams and how to actually visually represent scheduling. Similarly with truth lie, which is more complicated, I'll explain separately. Here basically what I'm trying to do is with arrangements, when you get those kind of modified arrangements, how do you solve? So one type of modified arrangement is basically with scheduling, where you are given when somebody arrives and when somebody leaves, or that somebody is there for X amount of time. That kind of arrangement, how do you solve? Similarly, in truth lie also you get arrangement questions. So basically you will be given an arrangement and you will have to figure out what that arrangement is based on figuring out who is the truth teller, who is the liar. So we'll be taking a look at this specific subset. I'll be going more in detail in scheduling, in truth lie concept as such. So don't worry if you want more of that. We will be going deeper into it and taking a look at harder questions from that. But I wanted this to be a kind of an introductory session to both scheduling and truth lie in the context of arrangement. So basically it is going to be arrangement plus each of these. So essentially the way these LR streams I'm structuring is that with each stream I'm trying to push the student one level up in terms of difficulty. We started with very simple LRDI questions, then slightly more complicated LRDI questions, and slightly more. Now you're basically looking at medium to hard level questions, but introducing new concepts. Once you get more comfortable with that, we'll be going and figuring out all the different LRDI concepts that are there, giving you problems on all of them, and basically slowly increasing your competency level. So if you go through all of those streams, I'm confident that you will be able to recognize every different type of set that can come in CAT exam and solve any set that comes your way. So that is the idea behind these streams. Those who are joining us, please like the stream, please share the stream with all those who are preparing for CAT. I see 67 people who have liked this, who have joined us, and still just 35 likes. Have put up a rather ambitious target of 135 likes. So please like the stream, please share the stream with everybody who is joining or who is preparing for CAT, because this is going to be helpful for a lot of people. Whether you are weak at LRDI section or strong in LRDI section, it is always a good idea to solve sets. So the way this stream is going to be is that you are going to get two sets, two moderate or medium to hard sets. Many people will feel that these sets are not very difficult, but they are not very difficult because I'll be explaining how you can solve them or how you can represent the information before we actually get to the set, so that you don't go in blind. But mostly these sets are sets where less than 10% of the test takers were able to answer the set. So that is basically the way I select the set, so that I give you sets where which are very difficult sets, and I'll tell you how to solve them so that you get the confidence irrespective of what comes on actual CAT day. So please like the stream, please share the stream. The more students like the stream, the more students share the stream. We'll have a lot of encouragement to have more of these sessions. Also, these two sets, I'll be having two sets exactly. These two sets will be in the test format. To take the test, please go to kraku.in/live, LIVE. So this is the short URL for going to the most recent live session. If you go to kraku.in/live, you will see the YouTube window where this current video is there, and you will not see anything below that. But don't worry, once I start posting the questions and all, below this particular YouTube window, you will start getting the questions as such. So that is the whole idea. Just go to that URL, keep it open, and once the first question is posted, then you can go there and solve the question. There will be two sets. The first set would be of 10 minutes and the second set will be of 12 minutes. See, ideally, you should take somewhere around 10 to 12 minutes to solve the set. This would actually be easier for most students. I expect most of you to be able to solve the sets within 10 to 12 minutes because I'm going to be giving major clues before the set even starts. So if you follow the method that I suggest, if you go in thinking of the way to represent information, then I'm sure that 90% of you will be able to solve. So that is my confidence. I hope I do justice and I train you guys to solve these sets. These are very difficult sets. Most of the students who actually got these sets in actual Kraku mocks were not able to solve them. So they'll be, I'll try to make sure that you have the confidence and you have the prior knowledge to solve sets of these type. Those guys who are joining us right now, please like this stream, please share the stream. I want to be starting off with 135 likes. If we can get to 135 likes, that would be before the end of the session, that would be great. I'll be posting the first set by exactly 9:45. Till 9:45, I'll give you a basic overview or idea of how to solve these sets. And once you get that idea, I'm sure you will be able to solve both sets fairly well. Okay. Those guys who are joining us, please like the stream. One more thing I'd like to actually mention is that if you haven't started filling your CAT form, please start. I have started actually filling my own CAT form. Every year, all of us appear for CAT. So please start filling your CAT form. It's important that you have an early start so that you get an idea of what all things that you are going to need. You're going to need, if you are going to need any specific certificates, any information, how to convert your percentage to GPA, etc. So basically any information that you need, you will get an idea now what exactly you need, and you can get that before the deadline. Don't leave this till September. Start filling your form now. You can stop midway and save it as such. So please start filling the form. The application window has started. In case you have not, you don't know that the CAT notification is now out. The CAT is on 20th November. So there is a actual exam date, a target in front of you. Now it is your job that you move in the most efficient way as possible to the target. If you guys are looking for a good mock series or a sectional series, I would highly recommend Kraku's CAT mocks and sectionals. So we will have 15 mocks and 45 sectionals. All of these will be in the new format, so there won't be any 3-hour mocks. We have already converted most of our mocks. The ones that are live are already in the 2-hour format except one. So we have 6 mocks live which are currently in the 2-hour format. So if you want to start taking mocks immediately, I would suggest taking a look at our sectionals and mocks. Our sectionals are also live in the 2-hour format. The quant and verbal sectionals are also live in the 2-hour format. The DILR sectionals will be live in the 2-hour format by the end of the next week. So we'll be, I think we are one of the first to actually completely switch over to the 2-hour format when it comes to CAT mocks and sectionals, and we are also the most reasonably priced mocks and sectionals. We try to make sure that a lot of students can sit for our mocks and sectionals by pricing it at the most reasonable price ever. So please do check out CAT mocks and sectionals. Those guys who are joining us now, I see a lot of people who have joined us now. Please like the stream, please share the stream. If the more students like the stream, more students share the stream, we will have a lot more of these streams. I want to have like a lot of streams where I go level by level by level and make sure that all the students who see these streams are super competent when it comes to LRDI on actual CAT day. LRDI has been the make or break section for the last few CATs. So I want to like focus on this and make sure that every student who tunes into Krako's YouTube channel is able to crack LRDI section. So if you want to encourage us, please like the stream, please share the stream with those who are preparing for CAT. That would help us a lot. In this particular video, I'll be having two sets, one kind of a scheduling arrangement and one truth layer arrangement. And we will start exactly in like 7 minutes. Those guys who are joining us now, please go to krako.in/live. That is where the test is going to be. krako.in/live. I see only 56 people on the actual krako.in/live. So please go over to the website, because that is where you can take the test. The more tests you take, the more actual practice you have, the better it is going to be for you. Please make sure you have a writing notepad and pencil with you. LRDIs are going to require that. Okay, so we'll get started. Please like the stream, please share the stream, guys. Please motivate us to do more of these streams. Also, as always, once I give the set, I will actually try to answer your queries. So please post in whatever queries you have about LRDI preparation, or any general CAT preparation in the live chat, and I'll try to answer that. So let's get started. So how do you actually answer questions based on scheduling or truth layer with arrangement? See, when you have a scheduling basic, very nice scheduling set, what I generally teach is that when you have scheduling sets, you should draw a diagram like this: time on the x-axis, the machines or the actors working on the negative y-axis, and draw like a bar chart like this for scheduling. But when you have scheduling with arrangement, where basically you have some person arriving at 9 AM, leaving in an hour, or A, B, C, D, E, F arrive somewhere between 9 to 10 and leave somewhere between 11 to 12, that is not the chart, or that is not the representation you should have. Then it becomes a not really a clean scheduling question, but rather an arrangement question. So in those kind of scenarios, what you should try to do is try to use linear arrangement logic. Basically, when you have people arriving at different times, I generally show the time of arrival in the form of a linear arrangement. Similarly, if they are departing at a different times, I generally show the time of departure as a linear arrangement. Because there is a internal logic of when somebody can arrive and when somebody can depart, if you show them as two linear arrangements just above and below, then you can keep track. Okay, if E came over here, E went over here, then he stayed for this much duration. So that is something that you can do when you have scheduling, or basically people coming in and leaving at different times with arrangement. You can also, one more easy way is that you have your linear arrangement for arrival, and you also have your basic table for figuring out the other arrangement aspects, like attributes. If you have that, okay, the person wearing the blue shirt is arriving at this time, then you also represent the times 9, 9:30 in a table, and then put the attributes in a table also. So have a combination of linear like lines plus a table. So when you have like scheduling of this sort, when people are arriving at different times and leaving at different times, remember it is basically linear arrangement. One linear arrangement for arrival, one linear arrangement for departure. If there is any other attribute, use a table, but use that table in conjunction with the linear arrangement. Now we'll come to the concept of truth layer. I'll explain you how to solve truth layer LRDI sets in general. So when you have truth layer LRDI sets, in general I try to use something which is called as a truth table. If you guys are computer science engineers or electronics engineers, you would know this concept of truth tables. If you have not done that, don't worry, I'll be telling you what it is in basic. See, a truth table is basically a table which encapsulates all the possibilities that are there given two statements. So if you have two statements A and B, then each can be either true or false. So how many possibilities does that give you? That gives you 4 possibilities. The first possibility is that if you write it in the form of a table, you can say that both are false, or A is false, B is true, or A is true, B is false, or both are true. So essentially, when you have two statements, you can say that there are basically, if there are n statements, there are 2 raised to n possibilities of what values they can take. So basically, you can then draw a truth table where each of these 2 raised to n possibilities is a row. So if there are 2 statements, you get 4 rows. If you have 3 statements, it's 8 rows. Now, I'm not going to ask you to draw a truth table exactly as it was explained to you in like computer science or electronics, because if you have 8 statements or 10 statements, it becomes 2 raised to 8 or 2 raised to 10, which is infeasible. So what exactly should you do in that case? You should still try to use the truth table kind of a concept, in the sense that you have a table where each case or scenario you express as a table of true and false values. So what you will say is that, okay, suppose there are 6 statements, okay, you have P, Q, R, S, T, U, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 people and each of them have given a statement which can be either true or false. Now if that is the case, what you say is that let us consider the 6 cases where I will consider each of the, I'll consider when they can be true, when they can be false. Now the thing to remember over here is that the number of cases would not be 2 raised to 6, because internally the sentences or statements would be contradictory to each other. So for example, say Q statement is that, say, S is a liar. If Q statement is S is a liar, what happens is that if S is true, that means Q statement is false. So basically all of these cases will not be 2 raised to 6, there will be much fewer cases, because internally the cases will be in opposition to each other. So how do you actually figure out all the cases in that case? So basically, if I say that if there are 2 contradictory sentences of this sort, I assume case 1 and case 2. First case is what S is saying is true, and second case is when what S is saying is false. Now if this is true, then this has to be false. If this is false and if S is in fact a liar, then this becomes true. Now internally, after putting these 2 values also, you might have certain sub cases, but you should essentially pick cases like this such that you divide up the number of possibilities and try to minimize possibilities as such. So if you have 2 conflicting scenarios or statements, always try to say that, okay, these 2 statements are conflicting, which means only one of them is true, which means one of these 2 is telling the truth, one of them is telling is a liar. So when you do something like that, you essentially reduce the number of cases quite a bit, so that you get 1, 2, 3 or 4 cases maybe. Then you can say that while filling out the truth table, I try to fill out, okay, say if this is false, then P also becomes false. If S is true, then T also becomes true. If T is true, U becomes false. If U is false, then Q is true. Now if U is false, Q is true, then this becomes internally inconsistent. Now if it is internally inconsistent, I can then say that case 1 is not correct. So this is basically how I can use the truth table or a modified version of the truth table to figure out how to write the truth and truth layer arrangement kind of a truth layer, just truth layer sets or truth layer with arrangement kind of sets. Now in this case, once I draw the cases and figure out which case is true, I will just put in whatever the attributes are over here on one of the side columns. So if it is that blue is wearing, P is wearing a blue shirt, then this becomes blue. So based on what I get finally, I can then figure out what the arrangement should be accordingly. So that is the whole idea of truth layer with arrangement. I see a lot of people who have joined us, a lot of people on chat. Please like the stream, please share the stream. I see a lot of likes already, thank you guys. But please keep encouraging us. Whoever is joining us, please head over to kraku.in/live. Dipanshu will be starting soon. I will start in like 2-3 minutes. I see a lot of people still on the YouTube channel who have not come over on kraku.in/live. Please go to kraku.in/live. That is where the live session will start. You will see the YouTube window up front. If you scroll down, the first question that we post will come over there. So I'll be posting exactly 2 minutes. So please be ready, and I'll be posting in 2 minutes exactly at 9:49. So please be ready so that you can give your best attempt at solving the sets. There will be 2 sets. The first set would be of 10 minutes. The second set would be of 12 minutes. Okay, so please guys be ready. Make sure you have a pen and paper ready with you. Any reason why many mocks don't focus on truth layer concepts? See, basically, there are many such concepts as such. What we try to do is make sure that you are aware of each concept. You have some idea of each concept, because ultimately, if you are the CAT paper setter, you have like 20-30 concepts to pick from. Now, if you have 20-30 concepts to pick from, the chance is that you will get one truth layer, or maybe one scheduling, or maybe one Venn diagram. You will definitely get some arrangement, some form of arrangement. You will definitely get some form of table based DI. So you will definitely get some table with missing value. So all of those will be for sure. So these are essentially, like, if you have 6 sets or 8 sets, these are the second favorite kind of sets to give. So they'll appear less frequently, but you are absolutely right that they should appear, and you should know exactly how to solve them. If you don't know, then essentially you're missing out on the chance if it actually comes on CAT day. The CAT paper setter will have a limited choice in the number of sets he can set. There'll be like some enumeration, some arrangement. Every CAT paper has had all of those. But then you have to also think of what new can I set, what else can I set. Then you get all of these scheduling, truth liar, all of those sets as such. So always be prepared. If one comes, you should be able to solve. Okay guys, so we are going to start with our first set. So best of luck guys, and this time has started. It is 10 minutes. Please please try to answer this. Please try to do your best in the given test. If you guys don't know where to go to kraku.in/live. That is where the test is going on. So please please go to kraku.in/live and please give it in the test format. Guys who have I see that already many people have liked the stream. Thank you so much. Make sure that you also share the stream with anybody else who is preparing for CAT. It would help us a lot. And please make sure that you actually submit the questions. Try to answer the questions that are there in this particular set. 10 minutes is good enough or enough for this set. Please give it your best attempt. Those who are trying to start with their preparation, please check out Kraku's CAT batches. And essentially in our batches, we try to make sure that we have the full support for any student who is trying to crack CAT. We give you all the concepts, videos, concept tests, like a daily schedule, so that you don't have to think, you don't have to find resources. You have everything you need in one place, along with ample amount of practice. You have max, we have like a huge question bank, so that you will not run out of questions to practice as such. So please check out our CAT batches. Also, those who want to see mocks in the 2-hour format, we have already pushed out most of our mocks in our 2-hour format. Also, quant and verbal sectionals are up in the 2-hour format. So please do check out Kraku's mocks plus sectionals. I think we are the most, reasonable mocks plus sectionals kind of package out of all of our competitors, and please do check it out. It would help you a lot. So that would be please do check out mocks and sectionals. We have already adapted to the 2-hour format as such. So let's Hi guys, I think we are back up live. Just let me know if you guys can see me. Sorry about that. We have like we had an hi guys, I hope you are able to see me now. We are back up live. If you guys are having trouble with seeing the statements, please go to kraku.in/live. That is where the test is, and you can see the instructions in the test format properly. It would be difficult to see the entire set over here. Please go to kraku.in/live. Guys, sorry about it. Some technical issues. We had basically internet outage for a couple of minutes. Really sorry about that. And if you guys have were not able to see the question, I hope you guys are able to see it now. Please go to krakow.in/live so that you can see the entire set in the test format as such. Okay, and let's see how much time we have as such. We have, okay, most guys were able to answer. We had 27 correct, 28 wrong. This set is not difficult at all, so I hope you guys should be able to answer by the time we go through all the different levels of DILR as such. I am sorry, I think many of you guys were also affected by the fact that there was the internet disconnection as such. If you guys have just joined, please go to krakow.in/live. That is where the test is occurring. So don't see the statements in the video as such. Go to krakow.in/live so you can see the proper test window, because over here it's difficult to actually solve LR set. You just looking at the question from the test window as such. Okay. Sorry, those guys who struggle, I'm sorry for question 2, but somehow my answer wasn't submitted. I think maybe the right question option might not have been selected by this. Sorry, Vishesh, the set was available online. So even if I go offline because of disconnection, the set will continue to work as such. So please try to solve the set. It was at krakow.in/live. So the next set will also be there at krakow.in/live. Don't see it over here in the video window, because there won't be enough information for seeing a proper set as such. Go to krakow.in/live to see, so that you can see it in the proper test format. Okay. So I'll try to solve this set. Those who got it right, Tulsiram got all of the questions right. Very well done. Ayushi, Yash, Kirti, and also very well done. So I hope I can answer the questions for all of you on how to solve this particular set. Those guys who could not solve this particular set, please go to krakow.in/live so you can solve the next set. So let's get started with this particular set. Guys who are joining us, please like the stream, please share the stream so that more students can join. So the set is P, Q, R and S are 4 brothers who went to an ice cream parlor. Each of them ate a different number of ice creams among 1, 2, 3 and 4. Since their mother did not allow more than 1 ice cream per day, they decided to report distorted information to her. So each one of them decided to be a truth teller or a liar or an alternator. Truth tellers always tell the truth, the liars always make up false statements. Alternators, however, alternate between making true and false statements. So one statement would be true, one statement would be false, or the first will be false, the second will be true. Among the 4, there is at least 1 truth teller, 1 liar and 1 alternator. Each of the 4 brothers make the following statements. P, the difference between the number of ice creams eaten by me and that by R is 2. S is not a liar. S is not a liar. Exactly 2 of us, Q says exactly 2 of us tell the truth. R ate 1 ice cream while P ate 3 ice creams. R says only one of us is an alternator. S ate 4 ice creams. S says I am an alternator, only one of us is a liar. Now if that is the case, if I have to actually consider P, Q, R, S, so they say this is P, Q, R and S, I have to consider the truth value of each of them. Which one should I choose? Whose statement should I choose? Actually I'll use double this, because this double length, because each has 2 statements. So basically P1, P2, then Q1, Q2, R1 and R2, and then you have S1 and S2. So these are P, Q, R, S's statements. Now if I have to pick out first value to set, essentially the first value I set should be such that it reduces the number of cases as much as possible. So the one which should I pick? So basically the way you solve is that you say that okay, maybe P is the truth teller, Q is the truth teller, R is the truth teller, S is the truth teller. We know that at least one of there is 1 truth teller, 1 alternator, 1 liar as such. So we can start off by assuming one case till we find a contradiction and stop. But instead of picking P, Q, R and S, I actually want to pick S. Why is that the case? Because S says he's an alternator. Now if he says he's an alternator, it becomes easier, rather than if one of the others says that somebody else is something else, it becomes harder. Because if I know that, okay, if S said I am a truth teller, or if S said I am a liar, then you know that there are far fewer cases, because essentially either he is telling the truth or lying. So if S is an alternator, I have two cases. S is an alternator, or S is not an alternator. Because if this statement is a lie, if the first statement is false, that means S cannot be a truth teller, because a truth teller will not call himself an alternator. So essentially I get only two cases with him. S is either an alternator or he is a liar. He cannot be a truth teller. So let us consider the two cases. S is an alternator or S is a liar. Okay. Now if S is an alternator, what is the first scenario? If S is an alternator, the first statement is true. The second statement will have to be false, because he is an alternator. Then he says that only one of us is a liar, which means that there are two liars in this case. Similarly, let us consider, I'll just slightly move it down because you might not be able to see because of the writing. So the second, this is if S is a liar. If S is a liar, then both of his statements are false. So this would be false, this would be false. So in either scenario, I see that the second statement is false, which means that in all possible cases, there will be two liars. So either S is an alternator or S is a liar. Still out of the four, there are two liars, which means there is one alternator, exactly one alternator, and one truth teller. So one alternator and one truth teller in all this as such. So if this is the case, let us try to figure out how we can actually get a true false kind of a statement, given the fact that there are two liars, one alternator and one truth teller. So S says only one of is a liar, which is false. He says he's an alternator. Now suppose he is the alternator, we have to find out two liars from the remaining this. Let's take a look at P statements. P statement is that S is not a liar. In this first case, this becomes true. Now if this is true, what happens? If this is true, then since there is only one alternator and you have to have two liars, as there is only one alternator, P's both statements have to be true, and that would mean that P is a truth teller. Why can't he be an alternator? Why can't it be F and true as false and true? Because only one alternator is there, which means that P is the truth teller, which means that both of these guys are liars. So what is the statements that they have made? Our statement is only one of is an alternator, but that is actually a true statement, because according to the conditions, only one of the statements is correct. So this means that this is true, which means that this case cannot be the case. Where S is an alternator cannot be the case, because we reach a contradiction almost immediately, because in that case our statement has to be true, and if our statement is true, that means that P cannot have one true statement there. So we reach a contradiction, which means that S is not an alternator, which means that S is a liar. Now if S is a liar, what happens? P's second statement becomes false. That means P's second statement is false, means that P has to be either an alternator or a liar now. So there are two liars, one liar is S, one alternator, one liar could be P, or he could be the alternator, he cannot be the truth teller. Q statement, let's take a look at Q's first statement. Q's first statement is exactly two of us tell the truth. Now this cannot be true, because we know that two liars are there, so there cannot be two truth tellers. So we know that this is also false. Now essentially, if you look at the statements, P's one statement is false at least, Q's one statement is false at least, and we know we have one truth teller whose two statements have to be true. The only way we can actually have a truth teller is if R is the truth teller, because P has at least lied once, Q has at least lied once. So the truth teller has to be R. So S has to be the liar, the truth teller, R has to be the truth teller. Now let us try to figure out who is the other liar and who is the other alternator as such. So Q could be the alternator and the statements could be F and T, and P could be the liar, or P could be the alternator and the statements are T and F, and Q is the liar as such. So let's try to figure out who is lying, who is not. First thing that we realized is that only one of us, our statements are true. Now if our statements are true, R says only one of us is an alternator, already considered. S ate 4 ice creams, which means that in this particular case, S ate 4 ice creams. So we were able to arrange that particular portion of how many ice creams S ate. Okay. Now these statements are done. Now let us try to figure out who among P and Q is the alternator and who is the liar as such. Okay. So let's take a look at the statements whose value we have not deduced already, which is P's first statement and Q's second statement. P's first statement is the difference between the number of ice creams eaten by me and R is 2. Q's second statement is R ate 1 ice cream while P ate 3 ice creams. So essentially one of these guys is telling the truth and one is lying, which means that one is an alternator and one is a liar. So that basically means that one of these has to be true and the other has to be false. Now consider the first case, okay? Consider the case that P is telling the truth and Q's second statement is false. If P's first statement is true, that the difference between the number of ice creams eaten by me and R is 2 and Q's statement is false, what does that mean? That means that R didn't eat 1 ice cream and P didn't eat 3 ice creams. If the difference is 2, that means and 4 is over here and the difference is 2, that means that P and R ate 1 and 3 in some order and Q's statement is false, which means that R ate 3 and P ate 1. On the other hand, if I say that Q's second statement is true, for example, if I say Q's second statement is true, then P's first statement has to be true. Then we reach two alternators kind of a situation, which is not possible. So if Q's second statement is true, P's first statement has to be true. So that means Q's second statement is false, because then we will only then can we actually satisfy the condition, and P's first statement is true. They are not internally contradictory. One thing that many people might actually have gotten confused is that they might have thought that they are true at the same time and false at the same time, but not the case. Q's second statement implies P's first statement, but the reverse is not true. P's first statement does not imply Q's second statement. Why? Because there are two possibilities. It could be that R ate 1 ice cream and P ate 3 ice creams, or R ate 3 ice creams and P ate 1 ice cream. So that basically means that P's statement is true and Q's statement is false. So the final order is like this, where P is the alternator and Q is the second liar. Now what does this mean? This means that R didn't eat 1 ice cream and P didn't eat 3 ice cream, but the difference is of 2, and we already know S ate 4, which means that the gap of 2 can only be between 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. 4 is already gone, so it has to be 1 and 3, and R didn't eat 1 ice cream, so it has to be P who ate 1 ice cream. R ate the 3 ice cream, which means that Q ate 2 ice creams. Now if you are able to figure this out, it becomes very easy to solve all the questions. So let's take a look at the questions as such. Who ate the most number of ice creams? S ate the most number of ice creams. He ate the 4 ice creams. If we look at the second question is who among the 8 statements made, how many were lies? Since there were 2 liars, that is 4 statements, 1 alternator, that is plus 1, that is 5 statements, 1 truth teller and 1 alternator statement is 2. So out of the 8 statements, 5 were lies. Okay, so the right answer over here is 5. The next question is which of the following is definitely true? So which of the following is definitely true over here? Sorry, I think there is a lot of writing over that. Oh, sorry. So I'll just try to erase that part of writing over this. Yeah. So the third question is that which of the following statements is definitely true? And I think this is where some of the students faltered. S made the most number of false statements. See, there are 2 liars, so both of them made the most number of false statements, which is the max value, which is 2. So this is true since S is one of the 2 liars. S and Q both made most number of false statements. So this is true as such. P made the most number of true statements. No. R made the most number of true statements. Q ate more ice creams than R. Not true. Q ate 2 ice creams, R ate 3 ice creams. The number of ice creams eaten by P and S together is more than that eaten by the other 2. No, Q and R together is 5, P and S is 5. So both are equal. So it's not, this is also not true. So the which of the following is definitely true? Only option A is definitely true. I think many of you faltered because I think some thought that okay, there are 2 values which are at max, so you can't say that these are he made the most number of false statements. But the most number of false statements you can make is 2, and he made those number of false statements. And then we have the last question. What is the total number of ice creams eaten by Q and S together? That would be 2 plus 4, that is 6. Okay, not a difficult set, an easy set. I hope you guys agree. If you have some experience of it, it would be an easy set. I'll be posting the next set in exactly 2 minutes. Those guys who were not able to solve the first set, please make sure you are ready for the second set, and I hope there is no disruption, no interruption. Even in any case, even if I get disconnected, your test will continue to go on. Go to kraku.in/live. Don't see the test set in the video window, because it's difficult to hold that entire set in a small window like this. So please go to kraku.in/live and you would be able to see the question over there. Guys who are joining us on YouTube, plus like the stream, share the stream, and I'll be posting in exactly 1 minute. So please be prepared for answering the set. Please go to kraku.in/live. The second set will be starting now. So I'm posting now. Get ready, guys. Next question. Okay, your 12 minutes start now. If you guys are wondering where to go, go to kraku.in/live. Okay. Ma'am, why could S not be true? S can't be the truth teller because he says he's an alternator. The truth teller cannot say that he's an alternator, because it would be an internal contradiction as such. Because if he is, he can at best be an alternator, because a truth teller will never say that I am a liar or I am an alternator. He has to tell the truth. The minute you have that, okay, I am an alternator or I am a like liar, there is an internal contradiction, and you can then mark him off as cannot be a truth teller as such. If you guys are looking for cat mocks in the 2-hour format, please take a look at Kraku's cat mocks. We have put up most of our dash cats already in the 2-hour format, and most of our sectionals are already in the 2-hour format. So please go there. We also have 3 free cat mocks in the 2-hour format. So please go to Kraku cat mock test and you will be able to see, take 3 free cat mocks in the 2-hour format. Our cat mocks and sectional package is super reasonably priced, and these mocks are carefully checked and vetted before they are released. So please take a look at them. Why is there negative marking for Theta? Okay, sorry Sarthak, I think there must be a mistake there. There should be no negative marking there. I think that's like a technical issue. I'm really sorry for that. You shouldn't have a negative marking over there. Sorry, we'll try to fix that bug. Ma'am, how can I prepare for DILR? I don't want to purchase any course, just want to learn through YouTube or PDFs. Satnam, you're free, you're welcome to join us on YouTube streams. I'll be holding a stream every Saturday focused on DILR. So the stream schedule that we are going to mostly follow is that on Saturday, I'll be taking DILR on 9:30 as such. So Saturday 9:30, I hope you're able to see that. So Saturday 9:30 would be DILR. So just like and subscribe to this particular channel and you will get the notification. On Wednesday, Maruti will take quant stream at 7 or 7:30 as such. 7 or 7:30 for quant. We are going to be like fairly regular in our streams, like every week we are going to hit this particular target. So please like the stream, share the stream, so that we keep getting motivated to do more of these. Essentially, even if you are not able to buy our course, we want you to be able to crack CAT. It's something we are very, very passionate about. So please like our channel. We put up a lot of free content on it, and we also have a lot of free content available on our site as such, in terms of free videos and free questions. So please do check out our website also. Okay. Okay. Just need a okay. Rajdeep is asking, just need a bit of guidance regarding BA/RC. I am unable to solve max 3 RCs in 30 minutes and BA in 10 minutes following your instructions of parawise main point summary. A strategy video for solving mocks would be really helpful. I'll try to add that, Rajdeep. We are actually trying to add that. Just stick with it. I know at times it might feel frustrating to do all of that extra work, but essentially, initially your focus and your goal should be accuracy. That's why I asked students to write the main point of every paragraph, because even though it takes time, it is extremely important that you get that accuracy high up. And in fact, when you actually are good at it, when you get a lot of practice, the time taken to do that would immediately come down over time. In fact, I feel that I'm not a very fast solver, but it has never happened that I have not had extra time left after a VARC section. I do that. I actually use this strategy every single CAT mock that I have given, actual CAT test that I have given, and I always have time left over at the end of the VARC section. So just keep doing with, stick with the strategy of writing the main point. You will get better at it and you will start taking lesser time, but still hold on to the accuracy. Once you have that rock solid accuracy, you can work on your attempt rate. Your attempt rate will be initially suffer because of that strategy, but once you have an 80%, 90% accuracy, or at least 80% accuracy, then you can work on improving the attempt rate. At 40% accuracy and 100% attempt rate, there is no sense as such to that. So always make sure initially you work on your accuracy, build your accuracy, and then you slowly inch up with the attempt rate. Okay, any more questions? I'll try to answer the questions. Let's see how many students have been able to solve this. Okay, people are already solving, so 6 minutes left, 6.5 minutes left. So please, okay, you guys want me to scroll down over here a bit? Okay, I have scrolled down over here, but please see in the instructions. If you see view instructions, you will be able to see the entire set on Krakow.in. If you it's just see the test window, refresh the test window. If you're not able to see the questions, there'll be a link there, view instructions, or hide instructions or view instructions. You can see the entire instructions. This is a, it would be less easy to follow the instructions on a window like this. Okay. Yeah, sorry, Bhukya. It's difficult to actually see the instructions on the video window. LRDI sets will be fairly difficult to see directly from the video window. Please go to krakow.in/live, because it's very difficult to have the entire set visible in the video window and the font size to be large enough. So please go to krakow.in/live. You are already there, I'm assuming, because you are there in the chat window. Just click on view instructions. You will see the entire instructions in front of you. You don't need to see the video as such for that. Okay. If you guys have any other doubts, please do let me know. I'll try to solve them as much as possible. If you guys have not yet done so, please like the stream, please share the stream. We are very close to the 135 likes actually, just 3 more likes. Please like the stream, please share the stream so that more students can benefit from these streams. And I promise I'll be holding more of these regularly, so that whether you are part of our course or not, whether you are part of a Krakow student or not, we generally want you to improve and do well in CAT. So please do like the stream, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll try to have more of these as such. If you guys have any other issue, please, any other doubt, please let me know in this stream and I'll try to help. Okay, Deepanshu is asking, ma'am, I'm very weak in LRDI and I'm not sure how to approach these kind of sets. See, basically, Deepanshu, that's the biggest roadblock when it comes to LRDI. When people see LRDI sets, they don't know how to approach the question. This is like, if you look at even this set, okay, there's like so much information that just coming at you, and you feel overwhelmed by it. If you don't have practice, if you don't have strategy, if you don't have experience, the minute you see a set like this, many people feel overwhelmed by it and they immediately stop and are not able to solve. The best way to actually overcome this fear or lack of confidence is to have a strategy going in. So what I try to teach through every single LRDI kind of concept that I explain is the representation strategy. So what I mean by representation is that given any type of LRDI set, you should know exactly how I am going to represent this information. So for example, I'll just, if you have an arrangement kind of a set, you should say that if it's linear arrangement, I'll draw a line. If it is circular arrangement, I'll draw a circular table, mark the chairs, and I'll draw out the clues. Basically, once you've locked down the representation format for each type of DILR set, it becomes very easy. Even with tables, for example, a lot of the DI caselets that are there, if you just draw the tables, if you just write the tables that are there, figure out what information is given, place it in the tables, and also figure out what information is needed. See the questions, figure out what is the information or answers needed. what would be the columns that would actually give me that information. Once you figure out the input information and the output information required, you can draw the table fairly. So the difficulty essentially always in DILR is figuring out how to represent information, how to represent this information into a workable format, how to convert this information into the output values that you can actually solve questions with. Just if you understand the representation strategy for each DILR set, it becomes doable. You don't feel scared looking at that set. So instead of like figuring out, okay, this individual question was solved this particular way, this individual question was solved that particular way, figure out what is the general format in which this particular question is solved. General format and how I'll represent this information. That will help you improve. Not individual solutions, but generalize the formats as much as possible. So I think many guys might be able to solve. Okay, 10 and 14. I hope more guys are able to solve, and we'll see a lot more attempts. So guys, please try to solve the set. Not much time left. So I'll try to see if there are any other questions. Yes. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry about the time we went off air. If always go to krakow.in/live. We'll be holding these streams all the time. So I just say that go to krakow.in/live. At 9:30 for the DILR stream. Just be ready there with a pen and paper in hand, and you're set. Whether I'm online or offline, I'll make sure that the set is posted over there. So whether I'm online, whether YouTube streams me or not, whether you are able to see me or not, that test will be there. That I can make sure that happens. Okay, so please go to krakow.in/live in all scenarios. Okay. Okay, I think I was able to see most of the chat this over here. Okay. Yeah, I think many people were not able to see the view instructions, which is why many people struggled initially. Hopefully, the more you practice on the interface, also such initial difficulties will be overcome. So let's see whether, okay, we have 20 seconds left. Best of luck, guys. I hope more of you guys attempt. Okay, help in SBI PO exam, Rahul. We have SBI PO courses, but this wouldn't be the right channel for it. Please do check out the SBI PO channel. We have a lot of information over there, and we have very good like mocks for SBI PO. So please do check out that part or that section for help in the SBI PO exam. Okay, I think the time is done. Okay. 17 right, 23 wrong. Kirti like came back from as a dark horse and went up ahead to come first in the test. So very well done, Kirti. Excellent work. Tulsi Ram, tough luck, but you did still very well. You still came in second. These were not easy sets, as I said at the very start. They are sets that only less than 10% of the students in a mock scenario were able to solve. These are not easy sets. But kudos to both of you for at least solving part of both sets as such. Same with Arvind and Sumit. Guys, very well done. Mohammed and Shambhavi, well done. Yash, also well done. So guys who were able to solve, congratulate yourselves. You guys did well. The ones who were not able to solve, don't worry. These are difficult sets. And slowly I'll make sure you get there where you know how to handle even sets like these. So let's get started with how to solve. If you guys had any specific issue with this particular set where you were not able to answer how to solve that particular set, just let me know, and I'll try to go through that point in more detail while I'm explaining where you tripped up, and I'll try to be more detailed in that explanation. Aditya is asking, please take sets on DI. Yes, next up I'm almost done with arrangements. My next, this would be basically DI tables, table with missing values, tables with like incomplete data or data connected sets. So I'll be doing that next, because basically I want to have the basic core DILR sets done. Then we'll take a look at the more complicated DILR sets. Okay, so if you have so anybody who needs guidance for VARC and DILR, please check out the overview videos that we have put up for batches. So essentially, the overview videos that we have distills our experience of giving CAT for so many years. We know exactly what is the trend in CAT for so many years, what they are trying to set, what they want to do, what kind of questions are expected to come. So if you want a bird's eye view of that, please, I would suggest Vishesh, go and see the overview videos. Level of difficulty of this set, I think, I believe like while selecting, I check that it is less than 10%, but I think 7-8% of people who attempted it got it right. So it is a difficult set. With that in mind, let's proceed. Okay, so this set is a pretty traditional arrangement set as such. The coming and going kind of sets are fairly par for course. So let's take a look at the set. On a particular day, 8 people A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H went to their school to meet 2 teachers, a physics teacher and a maths teacher. Each person wanted to meet exactly 1 teacher and exactly 4 people wanted to meet each teacher. Each teacher meets only 1 student at a time, and the 2 teachers together can meet 2 students, 1 student each at the same time. Further, the 8 people arrived at the school at different times. The relative order in which the 4 people wanted to meet the physics teacher arrived at the school in the same order as in which they met the physics teacher. So, what the order they arrived, that was the same order in which they met. However, this need not be true in the case of the people who wanted to meet the maths teacher. So, there are 2 sets of people, those who wanted to meet the physics teacher and those who wanted to meet the maths teacher, and we also have that they arrived at, there are 8 people and they arrived at different times as such. So we have linear order of arriving. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's try to figure out in what order they arrived and who met which teacher and in what format as such. Okay. Let's take a look at the first statement. A was not the first to arrive at the school, but he and H met their respective teachers at the same time, which means that A and H are in different groups. A is in one group, H is in the another group, because otherwise they can't meet at the same time. No, if they were meeting the same teacher, one teacher meets 1 student at a time, so it means that A and H are in different groups. D, who was the 4th person to arrive at the school, arrived at the school immediately after H, which means that this is D and this is H. Okay, and so we have used up this rule. E was not the last to arrive at the school, but by the time he met his teacher, exactly 3 people had already met their teachers, which means that by the time E arrived, by the time E met his teacher, exactly 3 people had already met their teachers, meaning if you consider both teachers combined, E was the 4th person to meet a teacher. So 4th is B and C met different teachers, and the person who arrived immediately after B met a teacher different from that met by B. So B and C are also in different groups, one in one and the other in the other group. G met the maths teacher immediately before F met the same teacher. So we have maths as G and F. I'm not saying in which order right now, but G and F met the maths teacher as such. And G met the maths teacher immediately before F met the same teacher. The person who was the 3rd to arrive and the person who was 5th to arrive met the maths teacher, and the person who was so 3rd to arrive is this guy H, so he met the maths teacher, so H is also over here. So that means A has to meet the physics teacher because they are in different camps as such. So the person who was 3rd to arrive and the person who was 5th to arrive met the maths teacher, so this is also maths. And the person who was the 2nd to arrive was the 2nd person to meet his teacher among the persons who met that teacher. E arrived at the school immediately after A, and both of them met the same teacher. So A is in physics, so E is also in physics. So we have B and C. Right now here we don't have any space as such, because B and C have to be in separate slots. So this will be B or C and this will be C or B, which means that the last like the only other person who is left would be A, B, C, D. So D also meets the physics teacher as such. So we know who exactly meets the which teacher other than for B and C. D, A, E definitely meet the physics teacher. G, H, F definitely meet the maths teacher. One of B and C meets the physics and other meets the maths teacher. Okay. So we know that E arrived at the school immediately after A, and both of them met the same teacher. So E has to arrive immediately after A, and E can't be the last person there. We are also given A met the teacher whom he wanted to meet immediately after D met the physics teacher. But DA also met, so D met the physics teacher, then A also met the physics teacher. So the order is D, A, E. E also met the physics teacher immediately after A as such. The order has to be D, A, E. So B or C can be at the start or at the end as such, because E arrived and immediately after A. So E could also be at the end, and B and C can be in the middle also. So let us say that DAE has to be at least this has to be the order, because this is the order in which they arrived. And since E arrived immediately after A, he also has to meet immediately, because the physics teacher meets in the same order in which as people arrive. So basically this means that AE has to be among 5, 6, 7. Now this guy is maths, A and E are physics. And we know that E is not the last person, so this has to be A, this has to be E, both are physics as such. Now after, we are also told that E was not the last to arrive, but by the time he met his teacher, exactly 3 people had met the teacher. And when A met the teacher, it's given at the very top, I think, was not the first to arrive at the school, but he and H met their respective teachers at the same time. So when he met the physics teacher, H met the maths teacher. So basically before E, D and A definitely met, so that is 2 people, and H met maths teacher. So 1, 2, 3, 3 people over here met the teacher that they wanted. So it is given that E was not, by the time E met the teacher, 3 people had met their teachers. So those 3 people have to be D, A and H, because A and H met at the same time, and D and A have to meet before E. So the 3 people that who meet their teachers have to be D and A, and then H meets the maths teacher. So if you see the order of meeting, if this is the physics teacher, if this is the maths teacher, this is physics, this is maths, then D and A have to be at the very top and H has to be over here. Because that is the only way that E can be the 4th person to meet his teacher, because otherwise that is, essentially H meets at the same time as A. Otherwise, E cannot be the 4th person to meet either of the 2 teachers. So basically it has to be D, A, E, and then H at the same time as A. So that means H is the first person to meet the maths teacher. Now we have to figure out where G, F and is placed, and where C and B are placed as such. Okay, so we have basically, if these are physics, 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 the last person basically, since D, A, E is at the very top, the last person to meet physics person would be at the very bottom. Otherwise, E will not be the 4th person to meet. So the last person also has to arrive last. Otherwise, they can't actually cut in line. D, A, E are the first to meet. So that means the last guy is physics. That means these 2 are maths. And this is already we know is maths. This is physics. Which means that 1, 2 are maths and 5 is also maths. Now it is given for the person who is second person. The person who was the second to arrive was the second person to meet his teacher among the persons who met that teacher. Now we know that H is the first person to meet the teacher, and G and so we have basically G and F who meet maths teacher, and one of C and B. So let's figure out where they actually can fit. We are given that G met the maths teacher immediately before F met the maths teacher. So G and F have to meet in that particular order. Now essentially we can have that, we can have either C or B and then G or F, but G and F have to be together as such. So let's take a look at what are the rules and whatever we have used up. A was not the first to arrive at the school, but he and H met their respective all used up. E was not the last to arrive, but by the time he met his teacher, exactly 3 people had met already used up. B and C met different teachers, and the person who arrived immediately after B met a teacher different than that met by B. So somebody arrived after B. So if somebody arrived after B, then we know that B cannot be at 8. So basically that means that B cannot be the person in physics. It has to be C. So this has to be C. B can be at 1, 2 and 5 as such. So B cannot be at 8 because somebody arrived after B. Now where can B essentially be? B cannot be at 1 because the person who arrived after B met the different teacher than B. B cannot be at 2 for the same reason. So B has to be at 5. That means we have G and F at the start. So we have G met the maths teacher immediately before F met the same teacher. And we also know that the second person who arrived was the second person to meet his teacher. So basically the second person to arrive, so G met his teacher before F, right? And H was the first person to meet. So between these two, who could have arrived second and be the second person to meet? G could have been the second person to meet, because essentially G has to meet before F. So G is at least second to meet his teacher. H is the first. So next would be G and F as such, because G comes in second. G cannot be the first person to meet. He has to at least, H is the first person to meet. And if you say that the second person to arrive was also the second person to meet the teacher, that means at 2 G comes in, which means at 1 F comes in. And G meets just before F, so the order is G, F, and therefore over here we have B and over here we have C. So the order, linear order of arrival is F, G, H, D, B, A, B, A, E, C, and the order in which they meet is physics teacher is D, A, E, C, and for maths teacher is H, G, F, B. A lot of people might have struggled with some of the rules, but once you understand the implication of each rule and you start saying that, okay, I think the rule that many people might have struggled with was the one with E, where he was the fourth person to meet. And once you realize that he's the fourth person to meet and he necessarily has 3 people ahead of him, you know that those are the only 3 people ahead of him. That was the key. If you were able to decipher that, everything became pretty much simpler. So that was essentially the key point. If you got that point, was a pretty, the rest of the set would have been simple. So I hope you guys had were able to understand this. If there was any difficulty in any part of this set, please let me know. I'll try to answer those difficulties as such. Okay. Not able to make, okay, so this is about general. Okay, this looks like Einstein's puzzle. Please help me clarify this. This is not an Einstein's puzzle. Here you have the, see, in Einstein's puzzle, what you have is like you have 6 people and 6 attributes or n attributes essentially, and you have to arrange those attributes between those people. Here you have a arrangement of arrival time. Now arrival time, when you have arrival time, days of the week, there's an inherent like linear order to it. So once you realize that those things have an inherent linear order, it becomes linear arrangement. Not a puzzle, not a Einstein's puzzle, but a linear arrangement. So once you realize that I have to draw a line with linear arrangement to figure out when anybody comes in, it becomes easier for you to solve. Okay. Yeah. If there is any other question, I'll try to answer. Otherwise, let us try to answer the questions that are there. How many people arrived at the school before B? So we see that 4 people arrived at the school before B. Next question is over here. Who was the third person to meet the physics teacher? E was the third person to meet the physics teacher, which is over here. The 7th question of the test is, who was the last person to arrive at the school? The last person to arrive at the school is C. So I just it is overwriting from the previous this. So the last person to arrive at the school, if you look at over here in the linear arrangement, that is C. And the 8th question is, before H met his teacher, how many people had already met the same teacher? No one. Essentially, H was the first person to meet the maths teacher. So the right answer is 0. So basically, once you get that particular arrangement, it is simple. See, this is not a difficult arrangement, it's a linear arrangement. But even a linear arrangement can be made unnecessarily difficult by putting in different conditions of where each one goes to, etc. When you get the actual arrangement questions in CAT, they'll be like this. They won't be like very complicated arrangement sets or very difficult arrangement sets. They'll be basically simple arrangement sets with twists like this. So you should be ready to learn to adjust to any twist. Arrangement with truth layer, arrangement with scheduling, arrangement with linear arrangement with days of the week, times of the day, everything. So basically, if you're rock solid in arrangement, you can at least solve 2 sets in DLR. That is my first step, to make sure that you have the confidence to solve 2 sets in DLR. Then I'll make sure that you can solve DI sets based on tables and so on. Our goal is to build competency with each stream. So even if you are not able to solve the sets in this particular stream, don't get demotivated or lose confidence. This is the basic steps in building confidence. Learning, trying to solve, not being able to solve, getting like feeling that you need to improve, work on it, working on it actually, and then getting better. So don't get demotivated. These are difficult sets. but the point is that you should know how to overcome each hurdle that is put in front of you. This is one of the hurdles I expect from my years of seeing CAT. Arrangement with twists like these are something that I definitely expect. So I want my students to be able to clear this hurdle. So I hope you see any a linear arrangement with twists like this, that you are able to face up to it. So guys, thank you so much for being there, and I'm really sorry for going offline for a part of it. Those guys who are looking for mocks and sectionals, please do check out Kraku's CAT mocks and sectionals. We have already shifted to the 2-hour format, so if you want to start preparing immediately, start taking mocks immediately, you'll have the ability to do so. Also, we have our 100 days batch. Please do check it out. It's like a easy to follow program. Every single day we'll tell you what exactly you need to do in terms of tasks, so you need not worry or need not think or make a schedule for yourself. Everything will be handled for you. You just have to finish the tasks for each day. So thank you so much guys for taking part in the stream. We'll be back on Saturday. I'll be back on Saturday. Maruti will be here on Wednesday 7:30 p.m. So please subscribe to the channel if you guys want to regularly participate in the streams. We'll promise to have challenging questions in our streams, but also build confidence, build conceptual knowledge, and make sure you guys are able to handle anything that CAT throws at you. So thank you guys. Fantastic to see so many people tune in on a Saturday night. Thank you guys for the session. Thank you. Bye.